Well, here we are coming at you live from way out west in upstate Tokyo. GAIJIN50 Plus Japan Talk live stream. All right, here we are. Another Saturday. I think this is our sixth live stream, which is pretty good. We've got a whole new look, a whole new style, and I hope that it meets with everybody's approval. I did a test stream during the week, and I accidentally went live and ended up having becoming a host to about five of our regular members who spotted me going live accidentally and jumped in, and they gave me some valuable advice about how I needed to change certain things, and I could try out certain aspects and certain functions of this live streaming software and see how they looked to the people who were watching. And thanks to their comments, I was able to get some things in set up correctly. Now, unfortunately, due to my own mistake, I actually put the live stream up there and announced that it would start at 9 o'clock. And I don't know why, but when I created the live stream, I input 9 o'clock, and then I started saying 9 o'clock everywhere. And so maybe that's why nobody's here right now, because maybe they're waiting until 9 o'clock. So I hope, does that mean I'll have to talk for an hour until people show up? Well, we'll see what happens. Right now, we've got somebody trying to join. I wonder who that is. Anybody want to say hello there? Now, this is the first time that I'm using all of this, and so I'm going to be stumbling around a little bit as I try to get used to all of these different features and functions that are available in this platform that I'm using. I'm using StreamYard. Hi, Eva. Hello, Eva. How are you today? I'm glad to see you could make it. I guess, should I call you Eva or Lily? I don't know, but anyway, I'm glad you could make it. Like I said, I mistakenly announced to everybody, "Oh, we're going to have a live stream at 9 o'clock," when it's actually 8 o'clock. And I just discovered it, like about 15 minutes before I'm supposed to start. And I looked around and I said, "Oh, it says 9 o'clock. What am I going to do?" And so I just started at 8. I hope more people show up, or if not, they'll probably show up at 9 o'clock. Usually we have more people than at this time. Where are you located, Eva? What part of Japan are you located? Or are you in Japan? I shouldn't assume that, should I? Okay. I myself am in Tokyo. Are you in Tokyo, Eva? Okay. So we'll hang out for a while, see if anybody else will come joining us. Like I said, currently on holiday in Japan, Kyoto, but I live in England. Oh, that's cool. How long are you going to be here? You're gonna be here a long time? Or yeah, now's a good time to be coming to Japan, isn't it? With the yen so cheap, you must be making out pretty well. We just had somebody else jump in there. So I hope you're enjoying your stay here, Eva. You're in a good place. Kyoto is a nice place to visit. One of the most famous tourist spots. Do you have any plans to come up to Tokyo? So give me a shout when you're ready. If you come up to Tokyo, let me know, and maybe I can say hello or whatever. Okay. So Kyoto. Do you know that's one of my secrets, and I shouldn't tell anybody. I've been in Japan for such a long, long time, but I've never really been to Kyoto. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's a touristy spot that I never got around to visiting. I've always wanted to go, but I've never gotten around to going there. Okay. Well, looks like nobody is coming in. Eva, do you like pizza? I got a really funny story. Uh, I leave in a few. Oh, only 2.5 weeks. While it's winter break, I already went to Tokyo last week. We stayed in Taito. Okay, all right. So Tokyo and Kyoto, I guess, are very different. I was saying if you come to Tokyo next week, I was going to invite you. I'm going to be playing some music in Tokyo next week. It's one of my secret pastimes. I have a country and western band, and we play occasionally here and there in the Tokyo area, and we'll be playing next week. So too bad you're not going to be here. Otherwise, I'd invite you to come, you know. Okay. So, all right, Eva, since I think other people might be coming in a little bit later since I screwed up the scheduling, let me just show you a story that I was thinking about showing everybody. This is my new improved format. My before I was streaming straight into YouTube, but I've got a fancy thing. Watch this. Oh, okay, here we go. Do you like pizza? Oh, I'm from Chicago, and Chicago's pretty famous for its pizza. Not the, they these days they say Chicago pizza is the real thick, deep dish kind of pizza, but actually people back in my day, we never ate pizza like that. It was always the thin crust. But in Japan, they're always doing strange things with pizza, and I maybe they're trying to get revenge on us for doing strange things with sushi in other countries. But they say that Japan Pizza Hut is going to start offering Kit Kat pizza. Can you believe that? Pizza made with Kit Kat. It's bad enough that they screwed up pizza and started putting pineapple on it. But here we have Kit Kat pizza. And according to this story, Pizza Hut Japan last year did sub Handy Melts pizza filled with cheese and Kit Kats. And, this is a foldable kind of pizza. And so now they're going to offer it again with strawberry pizza, strawberry Kit Kats in the mix. And I guess the person who wrote this article tried it, and they said that the way they talked, it sounded like they were saying it was pretty good. And they say it's kneaded with real strawberry pieces as well. I guess that's the fruit strawberry. And the crispy Kit Kat wafers provide a satisfying crunch. Wow. Now, I know British people like their sweets, but I ask you, Eva, would you ever eat a Kit Kat pizza? I don't think I'd like to try it. It says, she said that the Kit Kat candy mixes with the mozzarella cheese and makes a pretty good taste. But that, I don't know, a concoction like that would probably make me sick because I would not eat a Kit Kat. No, yeah, you're like me. No, thank you, huh? I'm always of the mind that if I want to eat candy, I'll eat candy, but I'm not gonna eat it with regular food, right? And oh, Japan ham, how you doing, man? Japan Ham's become a good contributor here in our feed and on the channel, and he contacts me, sends me emails, and we discuss different things, and he always has some good ideas. And welcome, man, and nice to see you here. We're talking about Pizza Hut and Kit Kat pizza, round table pizza. Never heard of it myself. What's let me see. Shall I try to do that? Let's see. Round table pizza. Nope, that ain't working. Let's try it. A little bit of a different one. There you go. Round. I'm on two different computers, and I've got a keyboard that I have to switch between. Round table pizza. Okay. Okay. Nope. Nope. Stop. All right. So, what is famous for round table? Wow. What is that? Do they have all kinds of strange different pizzas? Well, that's the so-called pepperoni. You want to hear something about pepperoni? I've got, even though I teach at a Japanese university, there's one student. He's an exchange, not an exchange student, a foreign student, and he's in Tokyo to study, and he's my student, and but really good English speaker, near native English speaker. So I asked him about. I'm always asking him about Italian food and Italian pizza and how the. I asked him, "What do you think about Japanese Italian food?" And he said, "It's like cosplay," which I thought was pretty funny. And then we were talking about the pizza because in Chicago, I never, when I was young, maybe they have it now, but when I was young, I never saw a pepperoni pizza. We always had the like the crumbly Italian sausage that we liked. And so I was asking him about pepperoni pizza, and he told me that in Italian, pepperoni is not that sausage. That round red sausage they call salami, and he said pepperoni is like paprika. And I asked him, well, do you have, this kind of sausage pizza with the round salami sausages? And he says they make pizza with salami sausage, but they don't make it with the round sausage. They chop the sausage up into small pieces and spread it on the top of the pizza, which I thought was pretty interesting. I've never seen that either. So King Arthur, all meat, others. Wow. Menu. Do they? Oh, King Arthur's Supreme. Wow. Maui Zawi. Look at all that. Wow. Italian garlic, barbecue chicken. Oh, this looks pretty good. This looks like pretty good stuff. A heck of a lot better than Kit Kat, don't you think? There's your King Arthur's Supreme. I'm not. I hope they don't make me order it, but I'd like to see it. No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna get out of here. They're trying to get me to place an order. I'd hate to deliver, order for delivery from somewhere outside of Japan. Okay, round table pizza, King Arthur. Oh, Matsuyama, Ehime for you. Hi, Ehime for you, Matsuyama. That's in Shikoku. To tell you the truth, I used to work for a company that is headquartered in Shikoku, about halfway between Matsuyama and Takamatsu, where Shikoku, you have the 2 points and then they come down. Right at that bottom of the curve, there's a company there, a big major Japanese company named the Dio Paper Company. And I worked there for a number of years. And I used to go down to Matsuyama and Takamatsu all the time. So nice to have you here. I know a lot of people from Ehime, from Shikoku. Great people down there. Okay. And Japan Ham says helped to open a restaurant in Hiro and MS in Fukuoka. I don't know what MS is. But you helped to open a round table pizza? Is it what you're saying in Hiro? That would be interesting. I'd have to I'd have to go down there sometime. Shizuoka Blues. Hello, Shizuoka. I don't know much about Shizuoka, but welcome. Nice to have you here. Been in Japan 30 years. Hey, a lot of old time vets here hanging around, and I'm happy to see you all. Were you in Marugame? No, I was in Iyo Mishima. It was the name of the place. At least that's what they called it back there, Iyo Mishima. Okay. Yes, was in about 1986 and 87. Is it still there? Do you know the MS building in Fukuoka? Not offhand, but I'd have to check it out. Is it if it's still there? I'd like to go. I'd like to go check it out. The one in Hiro is probably the easiest one to go down. Hey guy, Mount Fuji here. Always glad to have Mount Fuji in the group. Yeah, Shizuoka Blues. That's a cool name too. Yeah, that's a great place. Shizuoka, you can see Mount Fuji all the time, right? So, okay. We used to where I live, we used to be able to see Mount Fuji. Had a nice view. I mean, it was really far away, but we could see it, and it was nice to see sometime. Then they put up a building and that was gone. Yeah, all the time. Yeah. Yeah, mountains are so cool, right? They're so imposing. They almost have a presence. You can see how the people of old would make them feel like they were some kind of a living being, don't you think? Okay, the M building, M's, not MS. Okay, the M building. Yeah, I don't know the M building offhand. Sorry about that. But do you know if the one in Hiro is still open? Round Table Pizza. If it is, I'm going to go out there one of these days. Because to me, the closest pizza to okay pizza in Japan is Domino's, but Domino's is really not, you know, the real thing. Japan Ham says downtown Fukuoka. I have to check that out. Let me make a note here. I I I said one time, I don't know if I said it live or in a video, but many years ago there were no pizzas or pizza places and things like that. But as I was here, slowly but surely these kind of foods were being introduced into Japan, especially down in Fukuoka where I was. You know, Fukuoka is a little bit later, and so there was a department store that we frequented, and they had some food places downstairs in the department store. And my wife and I were dating in those days, and we went down there, and there was this place serving pizza, and I it was the first time I had seen pizza in Fukuoka since I had been here. And so I said, "Oh man, pizza! I love pizza. Let's go get a pizza." And we ordered the pizza. I forgot what kind it was or what was on there, but pizza came and it had rice on it. Isn't that weird? Rice on a pizza. Oh, by the way, back to my Italian guy. I asked him when you go out somewhere and you go to a pizza place for the first time, what do you order? What's the pizza that proves whether a place is good at making pizza? And he told me margarita. So if you go to a pizza place and you want to check them out, test their metal, yeah, I guess you should order a margarita pizza. So Japan Ham says, oh, that pizza place closed in 1990, a very small restaurant. That's too bad. I'd like to try it because some of this stuff looks pretty good. All right. You know, with Japanese pizza, what I don't like about it is they usually don't put all of this kind of stuff on the top. They're a little bit stingy with what they put on top. Okay, pizza. Thank you. Here's another piece of news. I laughed about this when I saw this. The mayor of Yokohama was caught and admits to bad mouthing subordinates, calling them human scum and other names. So it says that this guy that he was trying to push people around by calling them names, basically. And when he was first accused of this, of course, he said, "No, it wasn't me. It must have been somebody else," you know. But they said that, for example, here's one thing. Kubota told reporters that in June 2023, when he was head of the city's international department, Yamanaka said to him, If you fail to make Yokohama the host of TICAD, you must disembowel yourself. Well, disembowel is such a kind of almost like a medical term. Of course, what he's talking about is harakiri, right? So TICAD is the Tokyo International Conference on that. But anyway, he was bullying his subordinate, telling him, "Man, if you're not successful, you gotta commit suicide," And there are a couple other ones that made me laugh. If you betray me, you'll face this, gesturing at the guy as if he was pointing a gun. If you don't do what I told you, or you don't do what you're supposed to, I'm going to shoot you. And the mayor also spoke ill of subordinates, and when they were not around, describing people as fat, a useless sack of dust, and an ostrich. Now, speaking to reporters, this guy finally said, "Oh, yeah, okay, I'm reflecting on my behavior and I'll be more careful with my words and deeds." So he backed down right away. We all know if this was Donald Trump, he just would have said, "I only said it about Rosie O'Donnell." So, that's how he got off of it. But what do you think of this? I was pretty surprised. I wouldn't imagine that a Japanese official would be acting like this. This is pretty poor behavior, don't you think? Okay. Well, this was just, like I said, I found this humorous, so this is why I introduced it. Now, this is another one that's pretty funny. Those of you who are living in Japan know that there's been a problem with bear attacks. Power hara. There you go. Hara means harassment, of course. And Japan has a harassment for everything imaginable. I was thinking about doing some kind of doing some kind of video on the different kind of harassments in Japan. There's power harassment. There's scent harassment. That is somebody who puts on perfume or cologne that's too strong and it bothers the person next to them. They call it scent or smell harassment. There's air conditioner harassment. That is setting the air conditioner too high or too low so it causes. Man, I saw one time there's a whole long list of different kind of harassment. Oh yeah, there's another one. Sexual harassment. That's one that we all have. Power harassment. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, overly loud noodle slurping. There you go. Ego 5. Ego. I like that. So yeah, I've heard of that. That was on the list that I saw. If you slurp your noodles too enthusiastically, you can be accused of otohara, sound harassment. Okay. So, but I'll say, I mean, I'm going to make a general comment that a general comment that generally gets you into all kinds of trouble, and that is power harassment is quite a bit of a way of life in Japan, I think, my opinion. Yes, the power harassment, using rules and a position of power to keep people in their place. I think that's done quite a bit here, more than it should be, in my humble opinion, which may be wrong. I'll admit it. Check this out. Everybody knows that there is a bear problem in Japan, that almost every week we see some news story about a bear attacking some poor farmer or some mountain climber or some farmer out in the field or something like that. And sometimes serious injuries, sometimes death, sometimes killing people and things like that. So bears have become quite a bit of a well-known problem in Japan. So Japan's tourism agency decided to issue bear warning pictogram signs. All right, we have to warn people about bears. So do they say, like carry bear spray or ring a bell, like is the big thing here, or stay out of this area? No, 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 no. They their beware of bear sign shows. Da 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 da. Don't feed, don't feed the bears. Don't approach them, and aiming to alert foreign travelers and people of all ages through simple visuals. So that to me, was pretty hilarious, because are foreigners so stupid that they're going to see a bear and offer it food? I don't think anybody's doing that. Do you? Would you? I wouldn't. Maybe give them a Kit Kat pizza and then they'd run away. But I thought this was pretty funny. They say they show red slashes over people feeding or approaching bags and illustrate how litter can attract them. Yeah, and as we all know, foreigners like to litter. Uh, so yeah, I thought this was pretty fun. Kumahara, there you go. Ego 5, nice one. Kumahara, right? Yeah, these bears, right? They'll harass you to pieces, right? Japan Ham says you would be surprised. Many people think that, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe I'm giving people too much of a benefit of a doubt here, right? But yeah, I don't know. If I try, personally, I try to keep as much distance between bears and me as possible. But I've seen, on YouTube and stuff like that, people who were taking pictures as a bear came after them. Those those dudes move fast. I think it'd be hard to outrun a bear. I used to live up in Tochigi, up in the countryside there, and there used to be bear warnings at that time too. And I always used to wonder, I'd go out walking or jogging or stuff like that, and I always used to think to myself, what would I do if a bear suddenly appeared? And luckily, one never did, but I never came up with an answer of what I should do, because I don't think you can outrun a bear that really wants to get at you. Japan Ham's got some stuff. Don't feed the bears, bisons. There you go. All right, that's where you said you would be surprised. I've seen videos of people, trying to pet bison, or this one guy trying to touch or pet a moose. Man, I used to live in Alaska too, and we were always warned about moose, that they were a very dangerous animal, that they'll kick you to death, and you should always keep your distance. But anyway, I saw videos of people trying to get close to bison, and all of a sudden the bison tosses them in the air. And these signs are common in the U.S. Okay, okay. Yeah, okay. A go go. Oh, A go go. Not A go 5. A go go. Oh, nice. All right. Very good. All right. A go go. Yeah. So I guess what, you have your own company, or you're a teacher, or what? Oh, did you ever see those guys too? There are clips on YouTube where some guy decides to go into the lion, not cage, but the lion area. They jump down over the moat. They say, "Oh, I'll be nice to the lions, and the lions will be nice to me." Okay, a go-go dancer. Yeah, okay, good. So, a go-go dancer. Okay, good comment there. All right, so we got the tourism, and the tourism angle started. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. This one, I want to hear what everybody thinks about this. Mie Prefecture. Have you seen this story? So Mie Prefecture did a survey on foreign staff hiring, and they are talking about um, not what shall I say, making it against the rules to hire foreign staff or stop hiring foreign staff. I don't know how to put it in a nice way. And they're saying Mie Prefecture is considering reinstating nationality requirements for its staff, effectively ending the hiring of foreign nationals. And this is based on the results of the prefecture's annual survey of 10,000 Mie residents. But critics say the survey itself risks encouraging discrimination. Wow. What do you think of this? I mean, really, this is a spin-off made, Kevin. This is a big question, especially with the influx of foreign workers coming here once they get settled. Once they get permanent residence, some of them will become Japanese citizens. What did they say recently? I think last week we talked about it. 10% of is it Tokyo population or Japanese population is already non non-native Japanese, and so this is going to be a big question in the future. One thing that Japanese people are really afraid about, and that is that China sends agents over here, and they get embedded deep into Japanese society, and even become citizens, and then start sabotaging the country from within with their right to vote, voting for things that aren't in the best interests of Japan. So, and this same thing. So with this government thing, Mie says, we're not going to employ foreign nationals anymore as prefectural workers. You can make a case, right? What if some foreign worker comes in and starts to do something that's not in the interests of Japan or Mie? Not that Japanese people will automatically do things within the best interests of Japan or Mie. So I read this and I was saying, boy, what is the best way? Multicultural coexistence. The survey could harm multicultural coexistence. Is that the number one objective? Multicultural coexistence? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to think of it. Good afternoon from Okinawa, Steve. Hi, how you doing? Oh, look at what I can do. Let me show you. Good afternoon from Okinawa. I forgot I could do that. Hi, Stephen. Welcome. Welcome to our live stream. Oh, we're getting a pretty good crowd here. Okay. Ooh. What happened here? Oh, you are a guest. Act like one. Okay. I thought somebody's acting up in the in the chat here. Yeah, we're all guests here, basically, right? Yeah. I mean, we went through this in the past video. I was talking about the McLean case where the Japanese Supreme Court basically said, hey, you have the right to do this, you have the right to do that, but you don't have the right to be here or stay here, meaning that the Japanese government can kick you out anytime they please. Not that they do cavalierly, not that I know of, but golden rule wherever you go, there you go. That's for sure, the golden rule. That's yeah, but not too many people want to live by that. Okay, like somebody said, if I went into a Japanese house and they said, "Please take off your shoes," and I say, "No, I don't take off my shoes in my house," and go walking in with your shoes on, they'd have the right to kick you out, right? So it's a similar kind of thing. But it's a difficult question. Do you think foreigners have the right to work as a prefectural employee? I wonder. Anybody want to chime in on this? It's a dangerous. Okay, go. Let's see what you got. The actual police stats don't blame that foreigners commit more serious crime than there, but there are concerns about traffic. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. The stats don't actually back it up, and the traffic violations and things like that. Well, it's easy to say, well, they couldn't read the sign. That's why they went the wrong way on a one-way street. But I'm talking more that of the the foreign national as a prefectural employee. Is it so? Should the objective be to make more prefectural employees? I don't know. I have a hard time wrapping my head about it. Kansai boxer, welcome. How you doing? After a while, there's a danger of feeling too comfortable. Yeah, and I used to say that all the time in the past when talking to my Japanese friends when they were saying we have to import more foreign workers. And I said, yeah, okay, but be careful because when people come in, they become comfortable, they get settled down, they put down roots, they have kids, and all of a sudden they say, hey, I want my rights, and they organize. Sorry, Kansai Boxer, I left you up there. I want my rights, and if you don't give me my rights, I'm going to demonstrate, and I'm going to start throwing things at you and stuff like that. So it's a very, very fine line to walk. Let's see what Japan Ham has to say about this. If the prefecture office feels it has a need for foreign staff members and you meet the requirements, why not? Yeah, I mean, true, if they feel they have the need. But the way this sounds, they say no, no more foreign workers, and some people say, well, that's discrimination. Well, yeah, it is discrimination. I mean, we discriminate all the time, but okay. Someone tells me the Chinese already have plenty of corrupting money influence. There you go. Yeah, it could be very well. Yeah, we all know that. What is the money, the corrupting money in this country? A lot of Chinese corrupting money, I think, and also what's that religion that got Abe shot? I forgot what they call it in Tokyo. Okay, yeah, yeah, a lot of money coming into politicians to get them. Well, I mean, we got that everywhere, right? That's what's going on in the United States now. Is that money pipeline? Pay the constituents, and then the constituents give contributions to support people's political ambitions. So, yeah, it's a big problem. Money politics. Well, I was having a discussion about this with AI earlier, and it was really getting on my nerves. I was saying, well, look at what's happening over here, and they right away say, oh yeah, well, there hasn't been any definite, concrete proof that this is going. And come on, give me a break. This isn't a court of law. Hey, Japan Ham, thank you. Something I always forgot to say. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Smash that like button, everybody. I always forget to say things like that. In fact, I think I may have, hold on a minute. I think I may have one of these push button things. Yeah, there it is. Where is it? Where is it? No, 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 no. Oh, there it is. Pa-dong. How do you like that? Isn't that neat? But there are so many different doodads and things here that it's hard to keep them all straight because there's so many of them that they scroll off the screen and I lose them. Okay, thank you, Japan Ham. That's a good comment. And the New Jersey senator had, yeah, who's that guy? Menendez or something like that? He and his wife had all kinds of gold and money and cash in his house, and yeah, they sent him to jail, right? They all should be in jail for that matter, probably. Did you ever read the book by P.J. O'Rourke called Parliament of Whores? It's a real good book. He talks about how to be a politician, you have to be pretty much the bottom of the barrel. Okay, so we won't. That's it for me. I really am a little bit confused by this. What to think about this? Okay. Yeah, that's Menendez, right? He's been a sleazeball going way back. Yeah, they've been after him for years, haven't they? Yeah. Okay, what do I got next here? Oh, this is another one. I don't know if they've got this down in Shikoku or Kansai or uh, the other places that are Okinawa or Shizuoka. But I've seen the next one in a train station near my place, and it seems to go so totally against the the usual image of Japan and the Japanese people. Let me see if I can blow that up a little bit, make it a little bit bigger and easier to see. This is a poster from a train station, and it says "Stop Violence." And this text up here says, "Even if you're drunk, don't stop beating up the station staff." Basically, it says "Stop Violence," but the whole upshot of this poster is that people are tending to become violent against station staff. This is a big thing these days. Um, Not just on the train, but what do they call this? The customer hara. We were talking about hara before, customer harassment or something like that. And it's that the customers are attacking people in stores and things like that. They think nobody's going to do anything because I'm the customer, and the customer is the god in Japan. Okakusama ga kami-sama. But Kasuhara, thanks, go, Kasuhara, customer harassment, right? And yeah, it looks like a kung fu manual, doesn't it? Ow, you know, and it looks like teaching you how to attack. And it's got all these things here, and it says, "Don't punch the station staff. Don't kick the station staff. Don't push the station staff, and don't throw things at the station staff." Now, Japan, which is known as being nonviolent and nobody ever does anything wrong and nobody ever does anything to embarrass themselves or nobody ever does anything to bother people around them, why would they have to have a poster like this? Evidently, let's look at the story, right? Okay. Assaulting is a crime. Assaulting. 2024, there were 522 cases of passengers assaulting. Yeah, P Bob. I'll answer you in a minute. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My apologies. Oh, they didn't say what it's about. Anyway, what it is there were 522 cases of passengers attacking station staff, which was an all-time high, and so it was. They want to get people to stop doing it. And this thing here, right? Even if you're drunk, this is one of the big defenses in Japan. A lot of people, when they do something bad, I mean, some stuff that's really bad, even like kill people, the police will catch them and they'll say, "I don't remember anything. I was drunk," and that's their defense. And I don't know if it works, but it's sure used a lot. Okay, so P Bob, you have the right. You are right to be upset with me. I explained at the beginning of the stream here. What happened was when I made the stream, I accidentally put in 2100. And then every time I wrote something that was stuck in my mind, 2100, 2100, 20, And then about 15 or 20 minutes before this stream started, I realized my mistake. And so I started at 8, and my apologies. Please forgive me. And please, please don't unsubscribe, you know. But yeah, that was originally announced 2100, 9 o'clock. And I'm sorry. I hate military time. I'm always screwing it up. And I did it again. So my apologies to you and everybody else. Okay. So Kansai boxer, whoa, you know, this kind of stuff, right? Ha ha. Okay, thanks, P Bob. I appreciate it. When Japanese drink, there are many who can't handle it and do dumb things. Most are nice ones. So yeah, isn't that true? Isn't that true? Not of only of Japanese. A lot of people are like that. I'm like that because you know, long ago I used to drink with the best of them, and I had a pretty good capacity to put it away, but not such a good capacity to keep my wits about me. And so I quit drinking in 1988 or something like that, simply because that it was just too much. It was too much of a hassle. It caused too many problems in my life, and it gave me too many headaches the day after. So I just quit drinking. And I remember a video that I saw. Hulk Hogan's son was in a was stopped by the police, and he had been drinking, and the police caught him, and I don't know if they contacted Hulk Hogan or if his son called, but Hulk Hogan showed up. And I thought, oh, this ought to be good. I was hoping Hulk Hogan wasn't one of these parents, you know, like, you know, let my son go right away or something like that. But Hulk Hogan was pretty cool. And he walked up and he says, you know, what happened? And they said, well, you know, your son was you know, he's drunk and he was speeding, and I don't remember if he ran into somebody or but it was all because he had been drinking that he was getting into trouble. And Hulk Hogan said something that I really rang true with me. He said, you know, it seems like every major problem I've experienced in life, alcohol had something to do with it. And I thought, yeah, amen, man. I always joke with my friends, if I hadn't had never drunk, I'd probably be canonized by now. Okay. Kansai Boxer says 522 bad apples and millions ain't too bad. Yeah. Actually, 522 isn't that bad, is it? I mean, it's more than one a day, but at least you don't have people getting stabbed and massacred and slaughtered and half beheaded on the train over here. Okay, P Bob, no chance. Oh, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. Okay, Japan Ham comes in. All right, here we go. He's got a long one. Let's look at it together. Japanese are known to have a low tolerance for alcohol, like Native Americans. Can't be helped. There you go. Right. It's pretty funny when Japanese drink. Oh, when Japanese drink, you know, they get really red in the face and their eyes start going funny. Very low tolerance. I agree. Native Americans, I don't know any Native Americans, but you know, well, you know, there's a lot of theories that the Native Americans came from Japan or Asia or whatever. Okay. So Kansai Boxer says he quit drinking 12 years ago. Good for you. Good for you. Of course, you know, I say good for you because I quit drinking too. That's not to say that people who drink are bad. My big problem with drinking, I'll tell you right now. Here you go. You're going to know everything about me. You know how people drink and then all of a sudden they say, whoa, it's 10 o'clock. I better go home. I never could do that. If I started drinking, I lost all track of time and stuff. And it was, you know, keep drinking until the morning train and all that kind of good garbage, which is okay while you're young. But you reach a certain age and it's it's you start realizing I can't continue doing this much longer. Okay, Kansai Boxer, now he buys vegetables. Okay, buy vegetables with your money instead of booze. Okay, Egogo, I started drinking at 8 p.m. Oh, today? Okay, just in just in time for this live stream. But what if we're going to start the live stream at 9 like I did by mistake? Then you'd have to wait for another hour, right? Haha. Okay, good enough. So that's enough. Yeah, but the whole thing is, not so much about getting drunk. It's the whole thing about people people beating up on the station staff. Though I will admit, I've never seen anybody fighting the station staff or beating up on them. Kelvin, Mr. Alabama, as the old saying goes, I only have one drink. It happens to be a very large one. There you go. Or the old saying goes, I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy. Okay. So what do we got next? I got a couple more. I use these just to keep the conversation going. I hope you don't mind. Ta-da! You know what this is? This is the execution chamber in Japan. I think this is in Tokyo. The accused stands on this little red square, and a rope comes down from the ceiling and goes around his neck, and they press a button, and the trap door opens, and that's the end of that. Now, why am I showing this? Japan is a peaceful place. Crime is low. There's not too much, well, there is crime, but compared to other countries, it's relatively low. Recently, the Japanese Supreme Court, Japanese court, not the Supreme Court, a Japanese court rejected a suit by inmates that was calling for a halt to hanging, saying that it's an inhumane means of capital punishment. And they say these guys, the people who brought the suit, said that it's in violation of an international convention prohibiting cruel punishment. And they asked for damages totaling 33 million yen and for the mental anguish that they suffered being on death row for such a long time as their execution, not knowing when their executions will be carried out. Now, I don't know if you know this, but if you get sentenced to death in Japan, they put you on death row where you can stay for decades. I mean, like 10 years, 20 years. And then one day they come walking into your cell and they say, get your stuff together because we're going to hang you, I don't know, tomorrow morning or in a couple of hours or whatever, which, and without any previous notice, and your family and family members and whatever are informed about your execution after the fact. And so some people have a lot of trouble with that. However, I read one time, I don't know what it is now, but at one time I read that capital punishment had a 70% or 80% support by the Japanese public at large. Sorry, Japan Ham. Japan Ham's getting mad at me. He's saying, anything positive? Yeah, did you miss the pizza? No. Yeah, some of the stuff, yeah, this stuff is pretty heavy. Okay. Maybe I should maybe I was looking too seriously the topics were too serious, right? So we won't okay, I won't go into this because it gets worse and worse as we go along, this particular story. But okay, good point. How about this? Is this not positive? I don't know if this is positive, but it's a little bit amusing. Japanese female lawmakers, including the prime minister, are calling for more women's toilets in the parliament. Ta-da. You'd think that she would be able to order that with the stroke of a pen or something. So it seems that this is a thing. I won't go into too much detail. Anyway, they want more toilets. There are a lot of men's toilets and not enough women's toilets. This is something though that I think is generally true, not just in the parliament, but among women. My wife complains about it all the time. She's always saying, "Oh, there are never enough female, or the female toilets are too small compared to the men's toilets." So, yeah, maybe, maybe I need to start drinking again. Maybe I become too serious since I quit drinking. Did you know? Do you know the song by Toby Keith? Toby Keith was this. He's a late country western artist, and he did a song one time. "You ain't much fun since I quit drinking." So maybe that's me. I'm getting too serious with my since I'm not drinking. Pizza. I'm going to Henry's Pizza tomorrow. Anybody been? Osaka Tanimachi Yonchome. Anybody's been to Henry's? Anybody? No? Okay. All right. P-Bob says, when you are on death row, you stay at detention center, not in jails. Okay. All right. It's pretty interesting for me. Okay. All right. All right. So thank you for pointing that out. What they said, back to that thing, if we'll go back to that thing a little bit. They said that the plaintiffs cannot request a court ruling on the legality of an execution in an administrative lawsuit because doing so would contradict criminal judgments that finalize their death sentences. I heard that the reason Japan draws out execution of the death sentence so long is in case some evidence later comes out proving that the accused was actually innocent. So which is actually a good thing, I guess. And the judge also said, judicial precedent has been established that a death sentence does not violate the Constitution's Article 36, which forbids cruel punishments by public officers. Now, I'm sure that a lot of people could have some kind of something to say about that. Well, killing somebody is cruel punishment. Yeah, okay. But not according to the Japanese Constitution. And they say that they exercise due care when they hang you from the ceiling. Okay. All right. Everything else is about typical. But yeah, P-Bob, detention center, not in jails. Okay. I wonder what the. Do you know what the difference is between detention center and jail? If you do, please say something, because I don't. All right. And a go-go, a go-go. It it reminds me of the name of that guy that does the Cold Fusion podcast. His name is Dagogo, a go-go. I think there should. Oh, let me get you up there. Back to the toilet thing, right? I think there should be some better design for women's toilets. They're always waiting. Yeah, and long lines too. It's amazing how long those lines get. If you think about it, women go through a lot more than men do to use the washroom, right? I mean, they have to disconnect this and connect that and all that kind of stuff. So, I can see where they might be upset about it, right? Kansai Boxer says that going to Henry's Pizza is his first time. Japan Hams has never been to Henry's, but a quick Google shows a great 4.5 review. There it is, Henry's Pizza in Osaka. I wonder what kind of pizza it is. If it's Chicago. No, I don't want to sign up for Instagram. Or, wow. Merry Christmas pizza. This looks pretty standard. Do you know when I was, maybe I mentioned this earlier, when I was in Chicago, we never ate pepperoni on pizza when I was a kid. I'm sure they have it now. For those of you who weren't here before, New York style pizza. Okay. The word here before, maybe I should go back. We were talking about round table pizza, but before that, Kansai Boxer, get ready. You might feel sick when you see this. Pizza Hut Japan is going to commit another pizza sin. They're going to serve pizza made with Kit Kat, strawberry Kit Kat at that. Evidently, they did make a Kit Kat pizza for a limited time in the past, and it was not a pizza, but they did like some kind of wraps or something like that, and it was such a hit that they decided to come back with it. Kit Kat on your pizza. Oh yeah, these are handy melts. Handy melts meet sweet ichigo. Ichigo being strawberry in Japanese. Okay, so you could go there instead, Kansai Boxer. You could see. Yeah, New York style pizza. Yeah, I think there is a difference because I never found. There you go, Asimov. You and me both, actually. I can, Asimov, sorry. I can I can be okay. Like I said this before, I could be okay with Domino's, but it's still not. They're so stingy with the toppings, and if you finally get the toppings to look the way you want, you're paying an arm and a leg for it. If I remember, I haven't been in America for a long time. I don't know if it's still true, but pizza used to be cheap food, cheap fast food. And you could get a giant pizza for very little money. And I'm sure it's more expensive now, but it's not the kind of prices that they're charging in Japan, I think. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Okay, a go, thank you for coming. It was nice seeing you, and look forward to seeing you again. All right. You too. Have a nice weekend. And Steve says, no. And I agree. I thought I had seen the worst one with the pineapple pizza, but geez, Kit Kat pizza, right? And Kansai Boxer also says, no thanks. And back to the detention center, P. Bob, thank you very much. The detention center is usually for pre-trial people because prison is for people who are carrying out their sentences. But for guys on death row, carrying out sentence means hanging. Okay, there's the distinction. Okay. So it does make sense if you think of it that way. Boy, I'd hate to be on death row, wouldn't you? Ugh. Okay. And the land of food innovation. Yeah, but I said earlier, before a lot of people showed up, I think maybe this kind of Kit Kat pizza stuff and this desecration of pizza in Japan is revenge for the way that we screw up sushi, by putting all kinds of weird stuff on sushi. So maybe so. And okay, invention, garage pizza. Is that a chain? Never heard of it. Garage pizza. There you go. And it's in wait a minute, these are different places. Is it GAIJIN50? Is that the one you're talking about? P-Bob? Bye, Eagle. Okay. Yeah, I think this is about I think this is about all you can say, isn't it? Okay, Garage Pizza. Is that a place? I mean, some of these places aren't too far from where I'm at. I wouldn't mind going to try Garage 50. Oh yeah, I've seen this. I've seen this yeah, I've seen this thing with the Volkswagen bus there. There's your margarita. Hmm. Looks like they do it in a fired oven too. Hmm. In Texas, they dip sushi rolls in bowls of soy sauce. Yeah. My futon is calling. See you next week. Okay, Japan Ham. Thanks for everything. I really appreciate it. Okay. All right. Yeah, talking about sushi. Did you people know about maybe I talked about this before, but about soba. We eat, of course, you eat soba. We eat soba in Tokyo, and you got the soba noodles, and you've got the sauce. I'm talking about zaru soba, the cold soba, where you pick up the noodles, you put it in the sauce, and then eat it. And in Tokyo, that sauce is generally like close to soy sauce. It's a bit salty and tastes pretty good. I really like it that way. But I went to Fukuoka and I had that zaru soba, and the dipping sauce was absolutely sweet. It tasted like I was dipping soba in Coca-Cola. And I was grossed out. I actually spit it out. It was so sweet. And I was talking to some people and I was saying, man, that's so sweet. And they said, yeah, in Fukuoka, they have sweet soba sauce. But if you go to Kagoshima, it's even sweeter. How about Okinawa soba? Is it sweet, Stephen? Okinawa soba. I wonder, is it sweet? Okay. Actually, I have one more story to talk about, and then we could just sit here and chit chat for a while if you want, or we could call it a day. This is what's coming up next week. Get ready. Nope. Okay. Get ready for the election. I hate elections. They are so noisy. Osaka soba sauce is perfect. Okay. Okinawan soba sauce isn't sweet. Okay. I wonder why it's so sweet in Fukuoka and Kagoshima. Not that I know of Kagoshima, only what I heard. Get ready for the noise from now. Takaichi has almost a 70% approval rating, and the word is she's going to dissolve the lower house, and they're going to have a snap election. So Takaichi is very popular now, but right now, because of the balance of power of the seats in the lower house, she's having a not so easy time putting her agenda forward. So she decided to call a snap election and try to use her popularity to get more seats in the lower house, and that will help her to implement her agenda. This is, of course, parliamentary style government that they have in Japan. So this is the way they do things in a parliamentary style government. And, she's almost Trumpian in her popularity. They have been trying to take her down so hard, but every time they fail. When she came into office, they called her a xenophobe. They called her a ultra right winger and stuff like that. I had a young lady in one of my English classes, and she was doing something, and she was a real feminist kind of woman. And I said to her, "Oh, you must be pretty happy." This was right after the election. I says, "You must be pretty happy. You've got a female prime minister now." And she says, "No way, she's no feminist." Yeah. And she was, I mean, her face changed. Her eyes went wild and stuff like that. So a lot of people assume the worst of Takaichi. I saw an article the other day, some some knucklehead on Facebook was saying Takaichi during some kind of meeting moved her chair closer to that of the president of Indonesia. And this was a terrible breach of protocol, and that people around the world are up in arms. And I searched around, and it was not true. The other thing that I saw, some of the even LDP politicians were complaining about Takaichi because she doesn't do the late night drinking and dinner get togethers that politicians usually do in Japan. That is, these cronies go out to dinner and eat and drink and talk and schmooze and try to get their agendas put in. But she doesn't do that. She doesn't go out like that. And they were saying, well, that's no good. She's not communicating with our people, So yeah, I don't know that much about her, about what's going on in the Japanese government, but so far I think she seems to be doing okay. Here we go. I missed a lot of stuff here. Okay, what do we got here? There was an anti-Takaichi quiet protest near the local station in Kansai. Okay, I'm sure, some people like her, some people don't, but it seems the majority of people like her at this point in time. We all know how that works in Japan and in other countries as well, but especially in Japan, prime ministers generally start out very popular and end up, like 10% or something like that. And Kansai said, not going over well with my wife. Meaning what? She doesn't like Takaichi? Okay, more power to her. All right. Little banners up and a few people handing out flyers. Okay, yeah. I'm sure, there are things that she could be criticized about. But at least she seems to be moving and doing something, which is kind of refreshing. And yeah, Fukuoka is sweet. Kyushu soy sauce is sweet. Yeah, P-Bob, you've been down there? Yeah, they've got very sweet. Yeah, the soy sauce itself is sweet. Yes, you are correct. All right. The LDP is in a lock because they pledged $550 billion in investment in U.S. defense industry. Takaichi isn't going anywhere. Maybe so. Yeah. Maybe I'm sure. Well, I don't know. You think the U.S. has that much pull here? And it's maybe a stupid question or a naive question, but there was one guy. There was a time that a communist guy became very popular, and he was almost elected. And he was on a stage giving a speech, and some guy ran up onto the stage with a long samurai sword and stuck it in his stomach, and that was the end of the Red Scare in Japan. Okay, Takaichi #1, Steve says. Okay, you're part of the 70% there. Really interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. In any election, you never know what's going to happen. Anything could happen between now and election day, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And if she does get a mandate, it's going to be interesting to see what she does. Okay, and hope for the best, since we're all living here and we'll all be subjected to it. Kansai Boxer says, right. Okay, Kansai Boxer's wife does not like Takaichi. Okay. I've got to step out tonight. I enjoy visiting your new stuff, your new technology. Be looking forward to it, Kansai Boxer. Let us know about Henry's next time. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll put something up on the site. Next week, no live stream because I got to do something Saturday. I got to do something Sunday. I got to work Friday. Friday. As I've said many times, my university finishes at the end of January. And then from February 1st, we'll be hitting the ground running. And I hope to be doing all kinds of stuff on the channel from them. Thank you, Kansai Boxer. See you next time. And P-Bob says, Indonesians generally dislike Japanese politicians. There's a famous saying in Indonesia that they preferred 100 years of Netherlands than 10 years of Japanese rule. That may be so. I never knew that much about Indonesia. I mean, I knew where the country was and stuff like that. But I have a good friend who's living in Fukuoka, and an Indonesian woman who is used to be married to a Japanese guy. She's got two grown kids and stuff like that. And very nice lady, and we like to get together and talk. And she has a lot of respect for the Dutch and Dutch people and what they did for Indonesia. Japanese, she never said that much. No, she didn't. I mean, I'm not trying to be coy, but she spoke pretty positively about the Dutch people. Okay, we seem to be losing members here. Like I said, next week I just can't do it. There's no way. Saturday I have to play a gig, and Sunday I have to go to some show. So I probably the week after that will be our first post university vidcast, and I may have a guest, and probably we'll be talking about filing taxes for gaijins in Japan. Until then, I'll see you all and have a good weekend, and see you next time. Ooh, see how we can do that.